Paulie Malignaggi came out claiming that, listen, he had no issue or no big deal with what Devin Haney had to say. Basically, he felt like he was coming from a competitive place, but he disagreed with what Devin Haney said. He was like, man, come on, man. European fighters been dominating boxing for a long time. They had their time. Every fighter have their time. Every group have their time. So he basically saying like right now, European fighters are kind of doing good. And he stated 2000s they were doing great. And I'm like, what? European fighters were doing great? Because Prince Nassim Hamed was doing great, definitely, in the 1990s to like the 2000s, early 2000s. Then Pacquiao took over. And he from the Philippines. Beside them and Klitschko, you could add Klitschko to the list, even though he got beat by Lennox Lewis too on the early 2000s. Other than them, who is really all these fighters that he's talking about? Now today you have Lomachenko. Let's start it off with that. Lomachenko, Usyk, Gennady Golovkin. Now Gennady Golovkin, his biggest fan, Jim Lampley, he said that his career is a failure. Prior to the Canelo fight, he stated if he don't beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, his career is a failure. Guess what happened? He lost that night. And he been maneuvering since then, avoiding the likes of Charlo, Lions Only, and every dangerous fight that is, boo-boo and all of the above, right? So we already know his career is a failure. Now, Lomachenko, they hyping him up to be the greatest white hope we ever seen, but I don't know, man. Like, so far, like I said, he avoided Devin Haney, giving up the WBC strap, avoided Salido, avoided Pacquiao fight, even though he claims he want to be as great as Manny Pacquiao, and his dream fight is with Mayweather, this and that, right? So he had an opportunity to fight Mikey Garcia. On one point, he passed it on that due to his shoulder. So we will see how good Lomachenko is going to turn out to be in the future. He have the fights to prove himself against Lopez, Shakur, Javante, Devin Haney, and all the above, right? Usyk, I don't think he's made for a heavyweight. For a cruiserweight, he's good. But for a heavyweight, I don't think he's going to do that well. We shall see, right? So that's only 3 fighters. Like, what is all these fighters you're talking about? Because Anthony Joshua, he holds straps, but he's also from the coincidentalist at the end of the day, right? Like I said, back in the 2000s, you had Mike Tyson, Holyfield, you had Roy Jones, you had Floyd Mayweather, and the list goes on and on. Hopkins, you know what I mean? All these fighters from the coincidentalist, and you're going to tell me that the European was dominating? What world are you living in, Paulie? That's why he got that ether for the glove gate, right? By Akhi. You already know what time it is. If you don't know, Google that shit. Excuse my language, though. You know what I mean? But like I said, today and yesterday and a year before and 10 years before and 100 years before, the most dominant fighters in boxing are the fighters from the coincidentalist. Then after that is the fighters that's obviously Hispanic. Then after that, all of the above. So fighters on the coincidentalist are fighters like, you know, African Americans, fighters, for example, from Cuba. These are the fighters that's dealing with double standards. The fighters from the Hispanic fighters are obviously Cubans as well, but more so Mexicans, because Cubans can't even turn pro. Double standards again. But you have, you know, a lot of Mexican fighters, great Mexican fighters, Barrera, Morales. I'm talking about the fighters that actually fought each other. I ain't talking about no Canelo-ish. They're talking about he ain't gonna fight his fellow brother, David Benavidez, but he will fight Angulo and Lopez, a guy that's 2 weights below him. But when it comes to an actual fight, that could be a war, he'd be like, nah, I ain't fighting my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the Barrera, Morales, Marquez, and all of the above, from Chavez Sr., Salvador Sanchez, Duran, you name it. So those fighters are definitely from our pond. They not European. So what is you talking about, Paulie? I don't know what European fighters he talking about. I really don't. So I'm trying to, you know, get my thoughts together. Call in if you know what fighters he talking about. Google that shit if you have to, because I even Googled it and ain't find nothing. So what is Paulie talking about? He's a good fighter, don't get me wrong. Represent Brooklyn. But right now, he got me feeling like he ain't representing Brooklyn. He representing the UK. It ain't no longer BK, it's UK. Come on, man. Like I said, Paulie, you disappointed me, bruh. First with the glove gate, you gonna cover up for Fury. You got the work from Akhi, RIP. But now you talking about the dominant fighters are European. Bro, we could go back to history. Jack Johnson, to Sugar Ray Leonard, to Joe Louis, to Muhammad Ali, the highest, the greatest that you see above, to Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard, Robertson, Hagler, Hearn. All these fighters from the coincidental list, even till now, Roy Jones, Floyd Money Mayweather, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Hey, you gonna talk about it? Every fighter have their turn. Let's all be honest. The fighters on the top 5 pound for pound list throughout history come from certain group. At least that's most of them. And then the second dominant group is the Hispanic. So don't give me that European-ish when they ain't done nothing. What happened to the crusher, Kovalev? Didn't he get crushed by Andre Ward? Ain't Andre Ward American? So I don't understand what he talking about or who he referring to. So just because Fury beat Wilder, that's like the first time in history. And the man had to almost cheat allegedly in order to win. From taking supplements in the past to glove gate accusations that they don't want to acknowledge, that they want to act like Stevie Wonders and act like Allah didn't bless them with the blessing of being able to see with your own vision, with your own eyes. You want to be deaf to the truth and blind to it. Like Stevie Wonder, like I said, he got the ether on the glove gate too. I'm gonna leave that in the comment section below when it comes to the topic. Like I said, if you wanna support Paulie, please call me and tell me what you're talking about. Matter of fact, I already got a caller as we speak. Hello, who this is and where you calling from?
Akhi, happy Ramadan. Happy Ramadan.
Appreciate it.
Salute to all the decals in the chat, the Dominant Combat Athletic fans. We the kings of boxing. Akhi, you already know who this is.
Hey, Camacho, come on now. What I did you right like now. A decaf last show, so I want you to tell the truth.
Yeah, I'm a decaf. We're the Dominant Combat Athletic fans. We're the kings of boxing. Anyone who's against you is a king.
Dumb casual ass fans.
Keep
going
Never forget that.
Make a point. Dumb casual ass fans. You can't change that because
you don't know shit about boxing.
That's
all right.
Well,
I'm gonna tell you this, dog.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you this.
Do you agree with Paulie?
The holy month of Ramadan.
Do you? Yeah, don't do that. Let's not do that. But I'm saying, do you agree with Paulie? Right. Do you agree with Paulie?
Bro, I don't give a fuck about what Paulie has to say. Paulie is boring, whatever. I'm gonna tell you this right now, though. I'm gonna give you your first win ever, because last time I called in, my legs were not quite there, bro. I was feeling like a zombie.
Oh, you making excuses?
But I ain't gonna make that same mistake anymore.
Are you making excuses now?
I'm making this. Yeah, I am. I'm sorry, man. But I ain't gonna make that same mistake no more, because I need to call you out for being just as inconsistent as Paulie. You accused Tyson Fury of being the dirtiest fighter ever. You cry. You make 10 videos on it. But when Salido fights dirty, does a 3-punch combo KO on Lomachenko's nutsack, all of a sudden, he's the greatest fighter ever. I love Salido. Salido's a king. I love Salido.
So let me respond.
Salido's the best fighter ever.
Let me respond.
Let me tell you.
Hold on. No. You said I said something. Hold on.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Now, you cannot say that I said something and not let me reply, because you done lied right there. That's another lie. You said you ain't gonna lie, but you lied. You say you ain't gonna lie, but you lied. First of all, you could go back to episode 24, split decision, episode 24 and 23. And that's hard evidence. I got my receipts. I said I had no problem with what Fury did during the Deontay Wilder fight. You know why? Because Hopkins was dirty with it. He's veteran. He's a veteran at the end of the day. That's what I said. I called Tyson Fury a veteran just like Hopkins. I had no problem with his veteran tactics, because at the end of the day, or at least the night, is up to the referee or Deontay Wilder to do something about it. If neither one of them does it, I can't complain, because Hopkins did it, Salido did it. I never complained. I'm calling out the decafs that complain about Salido, but don't complain about Fury. Keep the same energy. So you lied again, Camacho.
No,
so you ain't gonna get another chance to talk. Like I said, I ain't going to argue with a decaf. He said he ain't going to lie during our holy month, Ramadan, and he lies again. Like I said, that's what I do for a living. I knock out decafs, dumb, casual ass fans. So, like I said, check out what I had to say on Split Decision, episode 23 and 24. It wasn't until the Glovegate accusations came up where I saw Tyson Fury fist and the glove rotating in 90 degree where I called him out for that. Now, that's not dirty tactics. That's cheating, allegedly. Because now you cheating. Now you punching somebody with your bare knuckle. I could knock out a heavyweight if I punch him with my bare knuckle. I'm only 180 pounds, but I could care less. I could knock you out if I hit you with my bare knuckle. You get what I'm saying? So you no longer need power. Paulie Malignaggi is a knockout puncher when it comes to that. If he punch you with his bare knuckle. You know what I mean? So like I said, don't give me that bullshit because I gave Tyson Fury all the credit in the world. I even called out ESPN why he's not higher on the pound for pound list. But this man, they tried so hard. They tried to dethrone Akhi. But guess what? Camacho, I'm your father. Google that shit.
To this day. To this day. To this day. Bomb Squad!
Please tell me why you always hating.
Always hating, bro.
Everybody had to come on do my thing, you understand? I ain't gonna let you talk. I did the talking tonight. Roy Jones, Pensacola, we talk tonight. The Gulf Coast, Mississippi, all that, we
So at the end of the day, subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumber by the second, don't listen to these decaf/O media dumb casual ass fans that hate the truth. But you know what Akhi brings to the table. Split Decision episode 31, posted by Akhi, mixed, master, produced, engineered, and all the above, the past, present, and future of pound for pound. Akhi got all the straps. And all y'all decals won't do nothing about it. Don't even have the cojones to call in, but y'all got the cojones to talk in the comment section like the keyboard warriors y'all are. But at the end of the day,
You don't know shit about boxing.
You better not duck me, son.
T-Tone.
You better not duck me, son.
T-Tone.
They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because
Anybody can get it.
Africans,
It
Americans,
don't matter who you are. You could be my
Mexicans,
Akhi too. You can get it.
can
On some
get it.
AB. Call me the can man. So, like I said time and time again, if you learn how to accept the truth, it will set you free. And when it comes to debating, if someone bring the truth to the table, the other side is nothing but a lie. So I'm down to hear y'all, thoughts. But if it's your opinion, it's literally just that. Akhi brings facts to the table. That's why I'm the undisputed, pound for pound, number one when it comes to debating. You name it when it comes to boxing. So call in, tune in, click on the notification bell if you want to get notified every time I post to go live on Split Decision, where Akhi preaches the truth. And when you open the book of the truth, that's exactly what